Massive crypto whale just announced he's buying XRP. The reason he's buying XRP is why I'm so excited. I've got some stellar XLM news that y'all need to hear. We'll talk about Ferrari, stablecoins, price action, along with
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
the Blue Jays having an explosive inning and taking game one from the Dodgers. Now, before we get into the news, like the juiciness up on the screen, you know what I'm talking about, XRP fans. We're at $2.59. You, the viewer, matter most, and I share your comments at the beginning of every video. Gavin's Cretin, love the dog you picked. Says Klaus, aka the only channel. Appreciate that. Says greetings from across the pond, Klaus. There's some news filtering through here in the UK regarding the Bank of England performing transaction trials on HBAR. This could be a game changer for HBAR. Would love to hear your thoughts. Chew, friggin' chew. I want to see more than trials, though. I want to see actual uses. We've seen a whole bunch of governments and a whole bunch of players before try stuff, but they haven't actually used it. Let's get to that usage part, and then you'll see me really get excited. Ivy the Panda, another doggy friend right here, love the photos. Says, thanks for posting so much for us while you're on vacay, you the man. Can you tell I'm starting to feel better? I'm starting to bring the heat multiple times a day. Don't tell my wife, she gonna be sore. Bitcoin, 111,740, ETH is 39.45, XRP's at 260, while, look at that. XRP market dominance bigger than BNB right now. Freaking awesome. Why? We're going to talk about it. Now look at the volume for XRP, 4.26 billion, and it's a Saturday, everyone. That's right. Happy Saturday. Altcoin season index, well, let's be honest with ourselves right here. It's really Bitcoin dominance, but that's because we don't have the reg-a-bronies yet or the ETF-aronies. Volume for the crypto market is down 34% to 104 billion. We expected that. But look, XRP is bucking the trend with up volume while the market overall is having down volume. Let me know in the comments down below who you think is going to win the World Series, with most of you right now, 58% of you saying, yo, Ohtani and crew are gonna win. Ferrari enters the crypto race. Luxury car maker plans tokens to engage tech-savvy buyers. I'm going to tell you this right now. You don't want to do anything with Ferrari. They will sue you if you paint their cars the wrong way. They'll go after you for their IP shit. Either way. Oh, yeah. And they're obviously late to the game. Want to hear how late to the game Ferrari is? Ferrari plans to launch a digital token for its ultra-exclusive Hyper Club members. God. Ferrari is set to offer a digital token for 100 Hyper Club members in 2027. You may have fast cars, but you're slow as shit to the crypto race. The Italian sports car maker will introduce the token Ferrari 499p for 100 of its wealthiest fans to trade and bid on Ferrari 499p endurance racing car. I'm just bringing this up because I wanted to share with you that, yes, there's going to be waves of people getting into crypto. Some of them, people like you and I, are getting into it before the regs. Others are waiting, holy shit, many years after. Stablecoin use for payments jumped 70% since regulation. This is what I've been trying to tell you, everyone. As soon as we get regs for the alts, you're going to see some big movement. What's the proof? Look at your stables absolutely roaring with payments since the regs. Over 10 billion was moved through stablecoins in August for goods, services, and transfers, up from 6 billion in February and more than double the volume in August of 2024. This growth follows Trump's signing of the Genius Act. You know what I'm talking about, the stablecoin bill. And guess what? More is expected. While stablecoin payments are growing rapidly, they're still small compared to traditional payments, which means what? We got room to grow. If you look at the stablecoin supply on a certain trend, and then right after the Genius Act, the trend does inflect even more. This is said by Andrew Van Aken, data scientist at Artemis, noting the report's illustration of an increase of growth rate of the stablecoin supply. We certainly think it has an incremental impact. B2B transfers make up most of the stablecoin payments, and I'm thinking that you're going to see the alts do a lot with peer-to-peer. Now, XLM Stellar fans, I got the news for you. Listen to this, and this is another thing I've been talking about. Stellar's price struggles, XLM price struggles, sorry about that, with Stellar's on-chain growth. So Stellar is seeing on-chain growth, specifically in the real-world asset thing, but it's not coinciding to price action. So again, we're not at the point where chains determine price. For instance, XRPL, the burn rate has really sucked, but the price of XRP has been a lot better lately. So what's happening on the chain is different. Between October 20th and 2025, Xlm made a lower high, while the RSA made a higher high, showing the upward push is losing energy even as price is edging higher. This could be due to broader selling pressure and pessimism in the overall market. Interestingly, the market narrative looks very different outside of the chart. Stellar's tokenization of real-world assets, or the total value of the assets on the network, has jumped 26% in 30 days to 638 million. So again, tokenization doesn't make us money, and tokenization doesn't lead to price, because over the last 30 days, even though tokenization was up, well, let's be honest here. If we go to the 30-day chart of XLM, which I'm doing right now for you all, you're going to see what? Are you going to see the 30% growth? Let's take a look here at the 1 month, and we're going to find, no, 10% down, because macros are a bigger force. So although tokenization is cool, does it make you money, and does it make XLM money? No, there's no correlation. Tokenization up 26%, native token price down 10% in the same time frame. So XLM fans, it's the bigger macro things that you're looking for in order to move you to the next thing. Honestly, regs are going to help a whole bunch. There's a couple ETFs for XLM, but more importantly, global macro events. Now, Xrp fans, we've got a big that decided to buy. James Wynn dives into XRP with a significant investment. You know who James Wynn is. He's the degen trader. Yeah, he's the guy that's been liquidated a million times. So did he just give us the kiss of death like Kramer? Because remember, every time Kramer says something good, bad happens. Every time James Wynn seems to invest in some crypto, he gets liquidated. Hopefully this doesn't happen. Now, why did he get into this? He got into this for a big reason. Crypto analyst James Wynn has announced a significant investment in XRP after spending 24 hours researching the digital asset. He says, with the hidden road, with all their rails and their institutional reach, he thinks XRP has a huge upside. Now, how big was his investment into XRP? Because we've seen this dude put like millions and hundreds of millions into crypto. You ready? Remember, this article says XRP was significant investment. I've got it for you. In a recent post on X, he went down the rabbit hole of XRP and decided to invest a significant portion of over 25,000 into the asset. Yeah, 25,000. So yeah, we've got a whale buying XRP, but he's only buying $25,000 worth. And again, the hopium pushers out there like, oh, he invests a significant investment in XRP. Dude, this dude dumps millions and millions and millions and millions into the weirdest shit coins out there. But 25,000 in XRP is significant? Okay, I guess so. Wynn said the potential for Ripple and its native token is substantial, as it could revolutionize the banking system. However, the meme coin trader admitted that XRP still remains a gamble, just like all other investments. His backing comes in a rather peculiar timing, as the company just announced they renamed Hidden Road to Ripple Prime. This means Ripple is now the first and only crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker, bringing the promise of digital assets to institutional customers at scale. We already talked about XLM's price action and how it doesn't matter to tokenization. The big macros matter. For XLM volume, down with the rest of the market, so it's kind of on cue at $175 million. The low for XLM, well, we've been working up from that, and in fact, we've been north of that 30-cent mark for a little bit here, which has to make you feel better. XRP sitting at $2.60, and you're seeing a real dramatic move here. Here's your 1 week chart for XRP, up 10% during that time frame. Remember, we kept hitting that resistance right around that 250 to 253 mark, and guess what? We started breaking through it yesterday, and we kept on roaring today. Now, what does the 1 week chart of Stellar look like to compare? Not the same. So you're starting to see a little bit of separation. And where was XLM meeting their resistance? right around that 33 cent mark. So you're definitely seeing a different story between the two. Now with XRP, look, regs are going to be big. The ETFs are going to be massive. There are so many more ETFs for XRP than the majority of the crypto market out there. And a lot of those ETFs are going to be spot ETFs, which are the juicy ones that we actually care about. Like I said to you earlier, XRP, more action than B right now. Think about that. That is a significant mark right there. I'm very happy about that. Now, with XRP, are we going to get the kiss of death from James Wynn? I hope not, because man, if so, we're just going to have to file him away with the Kramer man. Every time Kramer pumps, well, talks about pumps, it dumps. And Wynn, he's been liquidated more times than my wife's been. No. We're going to keep it a little civil today. But remember, stablecoins started roaring once the regs kicked in. A 70% jump in payment since that. We don't have regs for the alt-select, and that's why I believe we're going to get the juicy action. But remember, there's always going to be people late to the party. Douchebags late to the party. Trust me, you don't want to own a Ferrari. You don't. Go with Porsche. You'll be a lot happier. You don't have to worry about being in these exclusive clubs and shit like that. And to be honest, Ferrari only likes people of a certain caliber, right? And I'm not talking about financial caliber. I'm talking about a social caliber. You got to be squeaky clean to get a Ferrari. Porsche, they're a little bit more lenient. Ferrari would never let me buy, but trust me, Porsche would. So as you can see, tokenization doesn't really mean shit in terms of price. For XLM, tokenization is up 26% in 1 month, while the price for XLM, there's no correlation. Is it good? Sure, because we love reading the articles about, leading in tokenization is awesome, but what do we really care about? The balances on our crypto accounts. And right now, XLM is still being a laggard in this most recent move. Looking at XRP, looking at XLM over the 1 week, you can tell one is definitely stronger than the other. Now, James Wynn's significant investment in XRP, they fucking dropped 25,000. That's not significant. So come on. For all those reporters out there that are like, bro, Wynn is in, man. The whale is buying our shit. 25,000 to him is like $1 to you and I. That's not newsworthy. And again, he's a bit late to the party, isn't it? Because he's like, ooh, XRP is going to revolutionize. Dude, this is shit we've been saying for years. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the traditional players out there really have no idea what's going on with crypto. And in fact, a lot of these traditional players are late as shit, just like Ferrari. And again, once you get regs, what happens? Yep, growth starts happening. So once the government shutdown is over and those ETFs start getting approved and all of a sudden we get the regaronies, I'm expecting the altcoins, especially XRP, to start pump-aroniing. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. Now, in terms of the overall market, the shutdown is expected, remember, to go through November. But if the market and us starts thinking, hey, wait a minute, the government's making progress, people are going to buy that action ahead of time. And remember, we've got an FOMC meeting with Jerome Powell on the 29th of October, which means what? Yeah, we're guaranteed pretty much another rate cut. As I checked the odds before I went on, 99.2% chance that we're going to get a cut-a-roni of 25 points from the Fed. So for those of you out there saying, bro, we're going to get a 50, we ain't getting a 50. The only 50 you're going to get is if you buy one online at gunbroker.com. No, they're not a sponsor, but I've been looking because I've been thinking of getting myself a new Wavo. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'll keep bringing you more updates because guess what? Oh, well, you'll have to see later today because something's going to be a little different about the channel. Choo-choo what? Definitely not choo-choo stank rat on that raid. Choo-choo bitches.